What would you buy if you were the richest man on Earth?
I don't know, probably a controller for my Switch so I can play Smash Bros.
Nothing like extravagant.
That's good. That is extravagant. You know how much they fucking cost? When you're bestowed the unending mythical powers of an ancient turbo panther and have access to the collective resources of an entire fucking country, there's not much you can't do. Or at least it would seem that way if the Marvel character T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, is anything to go by. A character so immensely wealthy he is personally worth more than every country on Earth combined.
So why is T'Challa so wealthy?
Well, as established in the films and the comics, like T'Challa, aka the Black fucking Panther, is the absolute monarch of Wakanda, and as a direct result of that, can freely access any of his country's many resources. Which is quite handy considering that comics have established that Wakanda is one of the most, if not the most, technologically advanced nations on the entire planet, save for perhaps Latveria, because that's where Doctor Doom fucking lives, and no one's beating Doctor Doom in terms of inventing cool shit for his country.
Not that I need to ask, because I've seen the film, but why is Wakanda so wealthy?
It's because of their vast, almost unending supplies of Vibranium, a fictional super metal described as being second only to the shit they coat Wolverine's skeleton in terms of toughness. And to the world at large, in the comics, Vibranium is one of the scarcest resources on the planet, which is, it makes it all the more hilarious that they used it to make a frisbee.
The most versatile substance on the planet. And they used it to make a frisbee. Typical of humans.
That's true in the comics though, because they have other things made of Vibranium, but Captain America's shield is still one of the most notable examples. Like, you use it so like a guy can stop his head being punched off? Really? That's what you use this like world-changing super metal for?
I like how in Infinity War, they're like, get this man a shield.
Yeah, and
it's
even
like,
though...
get him a Black Panther outfit.
Yeah, no, give everyone a Black Panther outfit. So imagine how much ass Captain America will be whooping in a Black Panther outfit.
I know what people are thinking. Oh, well, maybe they're quite hard to make. Maybe there's not that many of them. There's definitely at least like 4.
Yeah, because
when they're showing off the gear...
There's the one that Killmonger wears, and then there's the other 2 that are just their thing. Not to mention as well, when they say get this man a shield, I thought, we're going to give him another circle shield. You know, the thing he spent a literal lifetime training with, and they give him like that weird square thing that he punches people with.
Yeah, that has like an extended bit on the bottom, which is useless.
It's like, okay, but why would you not give him a round shield that he's used to using, and then maybe one of those like sick awesome Vibranium cloaks that puts out, you know, the force field that deflects bullets, because he's got a completely exposed face.
I wish they'd given him just a huge version of his circular shield, like a tower shield, but circular.
You want to have like a Dark Souls-esque ultra great shield. The thing is, I was like, get this man a shield. I'd have loved it if like we hadn't got one.
We don't need shields. Our technology advanced beyond it.
Our clothing works as a shield. What the fuck do you want us to do? Build him a frisbee? Have you any idea how primitive that technology is? What the fuck? Get him a gun. Get Captain America a fucking gun. We talked about it before, but fuck it. I want you to edit the clip because it pissed me off when I saw it in the cinema. Why is Thor's theme song when he arrives in Wakanda to whoop some fucking ass not the Led Zeppelin song from fucking Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, the Immigrant song.
They play the original Avengers theme song. It's thematically appropriate, but I just want to hear the Immigrant song again. That's his theme song now. You are not that orchestral soundtrack. Fuck it. No, Immigrant song all day.
Did you hear that bit about, was it Jack Black throwing down? Because he was like, that's the song we used in School of Rock.
Yeah. Did you hear what Jack Black had to do to get that song in the film?
I know it was an effort.
Yeah, because obviously Led Zeppelin don't like their music being used for commercial purposes unless you give them a lot of money. Which obviously Marvel can afford to do. But for School of Rock, a crappy Jack Black vehicle about, you know, him...
How dare you? Crappy. That's a great movie.
It is, but at the same time, those kids lose out on 8 months of education. So those kids' futures are fucked. They now have to resit an entire year of school. And, you know, that's not the point of the movie. But I think I would be fairly pissed off if I lost a year of schooling because some dickhead wanted to win a Battle of the Bands contest. Fuck Jack Black in that movie. He's horrible. But they do use the Immigrant song in that film. And to get permission from Led Zeppelin, Jack Black recorded a video of himself literally begging Led Zeppelin to use that song, surrounded by all the child actors that were in that film. We need that song in this film. And imagine how he must be so pissed off. He's like, oh, then just like Taika Waititi got it straight away.
So, is there a way to calculate exactly how much vibranium is worth?
We don't really know because the comics are always coy about telling you exactly how much it's worth. Save for one Fantastic Four comic where I think Mr. Fantastic just casually reveals that on the black market, a single gram of vibranium sells for about $10,000.
A gram?
Yes, a gram. Because comics are stupid and they don't realise how ridiculous that sounds, because a single gram of the stuff can't be used for fucking anything, but apparently it can. And there's another comic where a character casually notes that like they're in Wakanda or something like that, and they say like, that bench over there made of vibranium is worth about $20 million. So using those two figures, people have been able to come up with a rough estimate of how much vibranium is worth. And then combine that with the fact that, according to some comics, there's about 10,000 tons of the stuff in Wakanda that they have access to at any one time. You can calculate those two figures and work out roughly how much all that vibranium would be worth if you sold it. And remember, because Black Panther is like the absolute monarch of Wakanda, and as a result, is entitled to use any of the resources the country has at its disposal for his own ends, that money becomes his.
So let's cut the long story short.
Yes.
How much is Wakanda worth?
What, with all the vibranium, just in terms of vibranium that it has, about $90 trillion, which is more than the GDP of every country on the planet combined. Which means that Wakanda is technically not only the richest country on Earth, like in terms of its resources, it's the richest country on Earth by a margin so ridiculous it borders on insane. And remember, like, T'Challa, the Black Panther, can access that anytime he wants. And it's said in one comic that one of the ways that Wakanda gets money coming into the country is to sell off vibranium in minute quantities on the black market or to other governments saying, oh, we found a little bit more in a mine somewhere, do you want it? For like an exorbitant price that would make a cinema blush with the markup they put on it. It's like keep money coming into the country for their own uses. And so like, if they decide to sell all of it, not to mention all the other shit Wakanda has, like all its world-changing technology, the patents it owns, the countless mystical artifacts that T'Challa could just sell to collectors and other people like that. He is personally worth more than every country on planet Earth combined. Meaning, technically, the Black Panther could buy the entire world.
And still have money
and
left
still have
over.
some money left over, to furnish it. Because that's a statistic that gets thrown around a lot, isn't it? In regards to like super wealthy people. Like I think one that people enjoy is like, like the 80th richest country on Earth is like Moldova or something. Do you know what the 81st is? What? Bill Gates. It's like Bill Gates is so wealthy, he's richer than some countries. Like T'Challa, the Black Panther, is worth more than every country on Earth combined. And at that point you have to wonder, why does Black Panther even bother putting on the Panther suit to punch people when he's got the resources and money to just throw cash at a problem till it goes away? And then not have to worry about it because he's still got enough money to buy the entire world if he really wanted to. It's like, oh no, a country decided to go to war with Wakanda, just buy it. It's like, yeah, we've got a country going to war with us trying to steal our vibranium, buy them.
It's like corporate takeover on an international level.
On an international scale. Like, at the UN, like, Black Panther should be sat on the same throne he sits in the movie. Like, do you know that throne he sits on and just, like, observes his people? Like, no, that should be in the UN. It should be, like, a mile in the sky. And any time a country complains about it, Black Panther goes, no vibranium for you then. I guess you don't want cancer-curing super beads that fix broken backs. Good luck fixing that shit on your own. I'm just going to fly around my CGI rhino now with my, vibranium cloak that deflects bullets. Good luck outfitting your police force, dickhead.
So you're looking forward to the next Marvel film?
I am, yes. That'll be Infinity War Part 2, won't it, at this point?
I think it's Endgame, it's
Is
called.
it just called Avengers Endgame? Because I've not really watched much stuff about it. What I do first is whenever a new trailer gets released, I go, okay, what does it spoil? So I was like, oh no, it was spoiled. No, not watching that shit. I want to go in there clean. I think it's fair, a comparison I've used in like conversation like you and other people who like talking about this shit is that the Avengers movies, the Marvel movies, they are this generation's Star Wars in that they are just a cultural phenomenon that it's just so permeated like outside the sphere of pop culture that everybody knows about it. Like, even people who don't watch these kind of movies know about the Avengers movies. And I'd say we're not going to spoil it because there might be people out there who've not seen the first Infinity War movie, but the ending to that, the snap, I say that's the I am your father moment in Star Wars, where it was just this huge, like, just cultural touchstone where everybody was talking about one thing, in particular a movie, for just like a couple of weeks straight. And I like that's like Star Wars back in the day, where the release of these movies was this event that everyone was talking about, even people who didn't really ordinarily give that much of a shit about it. So I want to get into that next Avengers movie clean. Game of Thrones is another one.
Yeah.
A piece of media that's just so dominates pop culture for the period of time that it's airing, that if you don't experience it as it comes out, you're kind of missing out, really. It's like the old adage, like just talking about it around the water cooler. It's that sort of thing. Walking Dead's another one of those we've talked about, isn't it? Where for a brief moment, it was all anyone was talking about. And then I think we could talk about like the death of Glenn at the hands of Negan. It was one that really pissed me off because I was watching Walking Dead at the time, and I remember seeing it was like Walking Dead fan page the day after it aired in America before we could watch it here. They put, oh, watch this emotional goodbye from the cast to this member of the crew, and it shows you it says the actor's name, so maybe if you don't know the actor's name, you wouldn't realise that he's died. Then it shows you a picture. It's, oh, he's fucking dead then. He's the one who dies. Fuck me. Thank you, fan page, who supposedly are for fans of this series. Thank you for ruining it on me. And the same thing happened with Game of Thrones, with the death of Hodor. When it's like, oh yeah, actor Kristen Nairn bids an emotional goodbye to the Game of Thrones cast, and then a picture of fucking Hodor on it. Are you fucking kidding me? This hasn't even aired in the UK yet, and I'm already spoiled. The one that gets me is obviously, I'm big into video games. Most recent one for me was Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
Obviously, I watched the trailers. I watched a lot of the pre-release stuff because I was interested in how the game played. But because I'd done that, the day the game got released, I go on YouTube. Oh, here's just like footage of the final boss with the thumbnails of the final boss revealing a massive fucking spoiler. It's like, great. So now I know what the end of the game is. Fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you for ruining that twist for me, YouTube algorithm. Fuck off. But, oh God, I am so hoping I can get into part 2 of like Infinity War clean without being spoiled. So I'm going to have to go see it like fairly fucking early, because I know, just mention it in this video if people want to fucking tweet spoilers at me. It's going to piss me the fuck off. It's going to happen. I can feel it. Damn it.
Well, this video will come out about a week before it.
Yeah.
We're filming these quite far in advance at the moment.
It's going to put people's mind. People are going to be ready.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking at my phone, so I think I want to watch it. The thing as well, it's always shitty fucking like clickbait websites that do it as well. And they put the thumbnail or they put the fucking header image as like the person who dies. Fuck you.
And they put spoilers in the title, even though you've already read the fucking title before you see the word spoilers.
Oh, God damn it.
Suck a gigantic Thanos-sized dick.
Yeah, oh God. Fuck you, comicbook.com and all that shit. All those crappy ass websites. Fuck you, Collider and all those YouTubers who talk about it. Damn it. Don't spoil movies. Like, the rule is 6 months. So I like the 6 months rule, where after 6 months, you can talk about spoilers freely, because anyone who gives a shit, after 6 months, it's kind of your own fault.
As well, like, if it's already come out on DVD.
Yeah, that's the rule. Like, 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months it takes most things to streaming services or DVD or Blu-ray. The Game of Thrones example is one that cracks me up the most, because if you were watching Game of Thrones legally as early as you possibly could in the UK, you could be spoiled the day before it aired by people who didn't do that. And at that point, what are you supposed to do as a fan?
Well, not to mention that time that they leaked, was it 5 episodes of one season?
Yeah.
And obviously, like,
everyone downloaded it. And then the thing is, though, you know for a fact that because websites couldn't say we downloaded them, they said, oh, here's what people online are saying happens in these episodes. No, you fucking watched them. Just admit it. Admit you watched them, you pricks. Oh, man. But, yeah, looking forward to that movie. It's going to be great. But at the same time, fucking hell, I'm worried. I'm worried about going in with them spoilers. Like that, on that Neo meme, where it's just like blocking all the Agent Smith things, like dodging all the spoilers online. Like, I'm basically muting accounts from people I know are going to talk about that shit.